Welcome to SlimeWire. I am Dr. Sanders.
This is Chase the Bass.
Captain Goyle, and today we got a special secret guest who only goes by the name of Mr. Ham. Mr. Ham?
Good evening.
Well, okay.
Good to have you on the wire.
Yeah, it's good to have you.
Well, anyways, Mr. Ham is a friend of ours,
Yeah.
and he's into video games too.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Hi.
One of the main things about Mr. Ham is that he is the main character in Magic Orange Road, the game, Slime TV game.
And also, he drew the art for our YouTube page design. It's kind of one of our go-to artists for anything on Slime TV.
Aye, that should be.
Stop talking in an Irish
Just
accent.
talking your normal voice.
Fine.
This isn't a movie. This is supposed to be real.
I didn't cast to be the Irish guy on the podcast.
I didn't.
Shut up, Chase. All
I
right.
got cast
well-
to be the token Mexican. Let's do this.
No, that's Johnny.
That's Johnny. We already
Yeah.
have one.
Yeah,
You're
sorry.
kind of like,
You can be the other one.
Alright. I'm the second token Mexican.
It's like he's
You always
Cheech,
need two.
he's Cheech your Chong.
Yeah,
so.
so you gotta
Oh.
have two. Always gotta have two.
Wait.
Ah.
Well, let's
How the fuck am I?
get on to the topic of today, and what we're gonna start out talking about is the N64, because I think we have memories with it.
Yes.
Because we're all in that age group. Like when it came out, we were all really young and getting into video games. So
best system ever.
Yeah.
Chase likes the N64.
Chase like Nintendo.
Does anybody want to start?
I'll start.
All right.
Alright, my experience with the N64 is I got it pretty close to when it came out, and all that was available was Super Mario 64 and Pilot Wings, so I got Super Mario 64,
That's the better choice.
and I was like friggin' amazed when that game came out. I never thought like it looked so realistic, or you know, now you look at it, it looks all blocky and it's
I
just
mean,
2D.
this was like 3D's first big step, you know?
It was
Yeah.
awesome. Those cartridges that like never worked.
It's so true. Well, like a lot of
Cartridges.
yeah, well that was like the last big cartridge system, you know.
Yeah, pretty much.
Does anything else use
It
cartridges
is.
after that?
No, nothing.
I don't think
Well, unless you count handhelds.
so. No, not handheld.
handheld,
I mean like a
okay.
console, like a Game Boy.
No. Not that I know of.
No. But the N64, I was like amazed when it came out. I don't know. I only had like 2 games in the entire time I had the N64. I only had Barman Hero and Super Mario 64. And I think I maybe had Star Wars. What's that one called? Dark of the Empire or something like that.
I don't know.
Shadows of the Empire. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
But so I only had like those games, and I just rented like Barman 64, and I rented Pilot Wings.
Those are all good games.
But I don't know.
Did
I don't know
anyone
why I
actually
never.
own N64 games? Because I know I only owned 3, maybe during the entire lifespan of my console.
What ones?
Did anybody own them?
What were they?
No, I mean, did anybody actually own any cartridges besides like
Yeah.
that tiny amount?
I actually had quite a few. I don't know. I probably had just about the biggest stack you have there.
So
Tony.
it's probably around 6 or 7.
Yeah, it was probably closer to 10, maybe.
Wow.
Probably like 15.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Fat stack.
I had, the N64, if I want to get into my story
Yeah,
with the
go for it.
N64, I got it for Christmas one year when I was little, because my brother had already had PlayStation, like he had gotten PlayStation 1 like the year before that, so I was playing Crash Bandicoot a lot, but then they're like, oh, I really wanted the N64, so I remember like, do you remember like the commercials they used to have for it?
Not really.
It's like super 90s, like, oh man, 64 bits! So intense!
Still the Bit Wars, huh?
And I was like, damn, son.
I can't
But
believe
anyways,
for that.
the first game I got was Bomberman. That first Bomberman, what was it called? Just
Bomberman 64.
Bomberman 64.
like everything was called.
yeah, everything was 64. Clay
Yeah.
Fighter 63 and a third.
Yeah. It's like with the Super Nintendo, how Super Nintendo had like a million games that start with Super.
Super Mario
So-
Brothers.
But,
First
but I thought
one
Bomberman was really fun. That game was hard when I was a kid. I was like, what do I do?
Yeah, it was. Especially when you get to like Red Mountain or whatever. That's like one of the hardest. Well, I don't know. I just always thought that was irritating.
But other than that, I had a bunch of other games. Like I remember I had Gex
Oh,
60.
that game's fun.
That game was awesome. I love that game
I
as
read
a
that like
kid.
10 times, but I never bought it.
I used to play that all the time. I'd like only play like the first level though.
I don't
Yeah.
remember how, but I got stuck at like the second level. Never beat that game.
Yeah, I never got very far.
Yeah.
But other than, I remember Pokemon Stadium.
Holy shit!
I have a funny
played-
story about when I first got that game.
I played the shit out of that.
Yeah. When I first popped it in, I was like super excited to play. I was like, oh man, Pokemon 3 dimensions, I'm all for this. And I only, for some reason, I only had my blue version cartridge because I had red and blue, but like my red one was like the main one I played. So I popped it in. I forgot that I had named a ton of my Pokemon swear words like fuck and asshole and like shit and bitch.
Of
And
course.
so I start this game and I'm playing on the TV, and the TV's like in like a family room.
Yeah.
And then we have a kitchen that's right there,
Yeah.
and so you can see everything that's going on. And my stepdad comes in, he's like watching me play. He's like, "What's that Pokemon's name? Fuck!" I was like, and I got in trouble because I like
Pokemon
thing,
Snap.
like where you name, like your Metapod penis, so you could see it say like, "Oh, your penis grew to level 5."
No,
and,
it's penis use hardened.
well,
And string shot, motherfucker.
like or you name it your ass. Like my ass went to level 5. So I was doing shit like that.
That's yeah. Abraham mentioned Pokemon Snap, so
Yes.
it's like,
Oh,
That was like-
Pokemon Snap. was-
why is that
love
like the
that.
best freaking game?
I never had that. My friend had that, but I rented the shit out of it all the time.
I
I
have
don't know
two
exactly
copies
what
of
was
that.
fun about it, but it was fun as hell.
It's such a weird game because it's like, why is this fun?
It's still fun today.
Why was I
still play
I was
it.
like addicted to that.
I got
Yeah.
like the holy shit that game.
Did you guys ever go to like Blockbuster when they had those printout machines where you could take your Pokemon Snap and like print out
Yeah.
those stickers and
I
shit?
did.
That's right.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, that was so stupid.
I know it's like completely retarded, but I totally did that.
I know. I'm gonna print out bad polygonal Pokemon.
Yeah, like these little tiny stupid stickers.
Yeah. That was neat. I mean, I wish they still did stuff like that today. You know, with the Skullgirls.
What the hell is
Uh,
Skullgirls?
Skullgirls? Skullgirls is
Skullgirls is awesome.
yeah,
Doubles OP.
The
awesome.
hell is it?
It's a fighting game.
Yeah, it's a fighting game.
You never heard of it?
We'll talk about it
I
later.
may have heard of it. If
But-
it's a fighting game, I may have heard of that.
You may have heard of it.
Yeah, it's on PSN Network and Xbox Live Arcade.
Yeah.
Does it have like this funky cartoony style to it?
Yeah.
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 Kind of
I heard
like
of it.
movies style they're going for.
Yeah, exactly. But Chase, here, you talk about your experience.
Oh, yes. The 64, I believe, is the greatest system ever created. First game, of course, Super Mario 64. Greatest game ever created. Mario Kart 64 is fantastic.
Oh,
We used to just
that was the best.
Oh
used to
fuck,
just
dude.
have like a tiny TV, which we think was like super big at the time, and just like hook that up and play in the family room.
Oh, I'm not even kidding. Like the first time I ever said a bad word was when my dad and my brothers were playing Super Mario 60, the kart. Yeah,
The battle mode.
no, they were playing like
Oh,
the
there's-
racing one, and like my dad said like shit, and I was like shit, and he was like
You
he's
can't
like
say that.
he's like don't say that. So I was like, but you just said it. He's like he's just like,
Dude, that happened to me, but with the word bastard.
oh really?
Like, I remember we were watching a movie with my dad, and my dad was like, "That guy's a bastard." And then I called my stepdad a bastard, and I got in trouble.
Yeah. So what you're saying?
Yes, all the Mario games are just fantastic. You got Super Smash Brothers.
Oh my god.
Which,
Except
that
Mario Kart,
shit.
because
that
Mario
That was
Kart
my favorite.
raises my
64.
blood pressure.
If you try to play that today, the lag will frustrate you to an unbelievable level.
Oh, the Super Smash
Yeah,
Bros.
Yeah.
There's a lot of slowdown.
Yeah,
Like,
surprising.
there's a lot of stuff going on. Like, you didn't think that at the time, but...
All you did was have fun,
Yeah.
and we're like, "Who's Ness?"
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, no one knew what Earthbound
No, I used
was.
to think I was pretty good at Smash, but later on, I went and like looked up the characters online. I realized I wasn't good. I was just pretty good at picking like the top tier fighters.
I think Pikachu is considered the
Of
best.
course,
first.
Pikachu was considered the best. That's the only shit I ever.
I don't think
That's
the
like
N64
fucking.
one. Like the only one I would kind of consider a fighting game is Melee, because Melee has a lot of like elements to it that they took out in Brawl that were like fighting game related, like hit stun and other stuff like that.
Well,
Yeah, they're just
but-
not really fighting games.
I mean, I technically consider them a party game because I don't play it competitively, and I don't like to play it like that with like turn off all the items, and you can't use like certain stages that have like hazard effects. You know,
yeah.
that's why they always use like
I like the
Final
Ice Climbers
Destination.
one.
Yeah, you know, I don't. anyone you can play that way if you want, but I don't think it's fun that way. I don't enjoy playing Smash Brothers that way. I like having all the items and
Yeah,
all that stuff.
totally agree with that.
If I'm gonna play something fighting games seriously, I'm gonna play Street Fighter.
Of course. Well, yeah, the N64 didn't have a lot of fighting games. Well, I guess kind of did. It had Clay Fighter.
Yeah, Clay Fighter.
Yeah, Clay Fighter.
I had
Killer
a lot of
Instinct,
nostalgia with that game.
Fighters.
No, Mortal
Destiny, Mortal Kombat. Yeah, the
Wasn't there
Mortal Kombat.
like I remember there was like some weird
Fighting
kind of
Dragon
fighting
or
game.
something.
I remember being like weird and medieval. I don't know.
Golden Axe?
No.
No,
But
there
that's
was no.
actually a really cool fighting game on the Sega Saturn, I think.
What?
That Golden Axe.
Oh,
the
yeah, that's
battle.
sick, yeah.
It's a really cool
It's cool.
fighting.
Wait. They made a fighting game on a Golden Axe?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And you actually hit like the little elf dudes in there to like get your
Yeah, to get the special.
meter.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I gotta
Do you have
check
anything
that
else?
out.
I like how the controllers are all like different colors. I had
Green.
yellow.
I had green. Green was the best.
I had gray.
I had
Or
fat.
it's most like fucked up random controller ever. That a lot of
yeah,
people
it's like
complain
the
about,
worst
too.
design controller.
And
like-
those analog sticks like don't work the way they
It's
used
like
to.
3 bananas.
Like why
I
is
don't
there
know.
3 handles?
I'm going to use the analogy that I always use for the fucking controller. It looks like the controller tried to have sex with a retarded spaceship.
I always did think it looked like an
This is
X-Wing.
terrible mutant love, baby.
Like it totally. I always thought of those like little X-wings, like it whoosh, like fly around with my N64.
Oh yeah, yeah. If it had
controllers.
like a back or like an X on the back, it
Yeah.
would be like an X-wing.
Like that's. I always thought it looked like a little spaceship.
But yeah.
Because like the analog sticks, like the little pilot, you know,
Ah, I
sitting
I
right
see.
there.
Very
Goes,
imaginative.
pew, pew, pew.
Oh yeah.
You had to buy an expansion pack to play like Donkey Kong. That was like the only game it
Oh.
was for, I think. Or was there any
Yeah.
other games?
What
No,
the RAM
the ex-
expansion or
Yeah.
like the Rumble Pack?
the RAM expansion for it.
Remember how
Yeah.
heavy the Rumble Pack was?
Fucking
Yeah, they're-
heavy. That's how heavy.
Controller.
Oh, dude, the thing was like ridiculous.
I know.
But yeah,
Huge
you
ass memory cards with like 8 megabytes on them.
Oh my god, and like you couldn't figure out how to like delete the saves off the memory card.
I didn't even know that existed.
Well, no, I figured out the memory card existed because I bought the game Aiden's Chronicles, which is one of the only N64 games that's like an RPG.
Is that any good?
No, it's terrible. And I played it,
Legend of Zelda.
and oh my god,
Oh my! Like there's not a huge debate. Is Zelda an RPG? It's like even bigger than is Smash Brothers a fighting game.
but yeah. So like I was playing it, and it's like, oh, you need the memory card to save. I was like, the memory card?
Yeah.
Say,
I hadn't even seen it.
I had no idea that existed back.
All right, let's talk about.
Oh yes, other fantastic games. Yoshi's Story. Anyone?
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
I played that a lot too.
That
I
game was
liked
hard
game
to
a
beat,
lot.
though.
Yeah, it
hard,
was.
like, dude, that was fun. That was like my second game, I think.
It's a really good platform.
Wow.
Then of course Star Fox. You got even a lot of Star Fox.
See, I wasn't into
Oh.
Star
Barrel
Fox.
rolls.
Donnie, you like Star
I was
Fox.
way into.
Yeah.
I mean, like when that game came out, I think I probably spent well over what it cost to actually buy the game to rent it because.
yeah.
Oh,
I know what you mean by that.
I mean, remember how expensive renting NC? Well, just any game back
Go to
then was.
Blockbuster, rent some
Well, it was
64
like
games.
back in the day, like when you're a kid, all you can do is like rent a game. You can't go out and buy a game.
I know.
They were like $60. And 64 games were expensive.
Yeah, they were.
It was like a treat to get like a game. Like you're like, oh, I actually get to buy a game and not just rent it.
I know, now it's like, oh, I want a game. Go buy it right now.
Now it's like, who fucking rents
wait a
games
month.
anymore?
You know, like wait a
yeah,
month.
and then
it'd
it's
be
like
cheaper.
as cheap as renting it used to be.
Yeah. Well, what about you, Abraham? What is your experience with the N64?
Well, let's see.
Mr. Ham.
The thing I remember the most is that for some reason, towards the end of the N64 lifespan, for some reason, I owned one game and only one game, and that was Mario Party.
Oh!
Which one though?
I think it was the second Mario Party.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's the
that's
best
the
one.
best
That's the
one.
Now,
best
this is
one.
important for two reasons. One, it should be noted that I don't hang out with people a lot outside of my own home. Like, unless you come visit me, I ain't gonna see you. Which meant I was playing this game alone. But that brings me to my second point. The fact that I could play this game alone meant I got obnoxiously good at this game. Like, I would play it like 50 round games and get every single star from everyone. Like, I got that good. Which meant I couldn't play with people anymore.
We tried. Remember we tried playing that on the emulator on the Xbox one time.
Yeah,
And it froze.
It crashed.
over and over.
We could never
again.
finish a game.
We kept
Yeah.
fucking cursing at Mario.
Yeah, that was so funny. We're like, what the fuck?
Fucking Mario.
Oh, if you're
Yeah.
good, we need to play. I thought I was the master. We have to have a showdown now.
So Abraham, would you say that your Mario party skills transferred into Donkey Kong Kingdom,
Yeah.
a game I'm well aware you like.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong Kingdom was fun as hell. And yes, to a certain degree,
Bogart
it did
TV.
transfer over, but Donkey Kong Kingdom has this funny thing, where if you suck enough at it, the game throws you a bone. It throws you a bone you
Oh.
can beat everyone's shit with for about 5 turns, and then if you're not on top by miles, there is no hope for you.
So it's like a blue shell.
Yeah.
Yes, except it hits everyone, except you, again and
It's like
again
a blue shell.
and again.
One thing I remember about the N64 is that because the games were so friggin' expensive, that I had like way more PS1 games.
Yeah.
like I had.
Yeah, I had the opposite, really.
Here's what I had. I had Super Mario 64, and then Shadows of the Empire and Barman Hero. For the PS1, I had Codename Tenka. I had Armored Core. I had like a million PS1 games.
I had so few PS1 games. Like, I rented most of them if I was gonna play PS1, but my brother played that the most because it was like his system, I guess. He gave it to me when he moved out. But yeah, I didn't play a lot of PS1. I played like Crash Bandicoot a lot, and that was pretty much it. And we had like this we had a demo disc for a while that had Crash Bandicoot on it. But I remember it had like this other game on it that was like really weird that I played a lot. It was like I don't remember what it was called, but it was like you were in like this square box and you're like these little guys and you have to
Pac-Man.
like kill each other.
No, it's
What?
Holy
That was on
shit.
PlayStation 1. But I cannot remember. I remember it being really fun, but it's a really vague description.
Yeah, it's pretty.
That
big.
sounds exactly like Pikmin, but I'm apparently not sober enough.
It's
to
actually
remember how
nothing
it was
like
for the GameCube.
Yeah.
Which reminds
Yeah,
me,
figures-
I need another shot of tequila. Excuse me for a second.
Actually, one thing that really sucks about the fact that Nintendo decided to use cartridges, or maybe just because there's like Nintendo fanboys or whatever out there,
No load times. Woo!
not bashing on them, is that it's so damn expensive to collect for the N64 if you want any good games now.
Oh yeah, go like a
Yeah.
swap meet and say like expensive Super Mario 64s. It's ridiculous.
It's like
It's like any Mario game. They
Yeah.
jack up the price at these swap meets.
it's so ridiculous. There's like
Mario All Stars was like they're
$60.
Yeah, $60.
Holy shit. 60?
Yeah, for that Super Nintendo game.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, well, that's what I said.
Well, yeah, and plus it's like there's like 9 or 10 million copies of Super Mario 64 that were sold, right? So
Yeah.
like if a game sells that much, you should be able to buy the game for nothing. You know?
You got a really good deal when we went to swap meet that one time on
Yeah, I bought Conquer. Yeah,
It's actually a pretty good deal that he was selling the N64 too.
yeah. He's like, this guy had
But you didn't want it.
an N64, and he's like, and 4 games. He's like, oh, $35, and but I didn't have $30. I had like 10,
Yeah.
and I was like, well, can I just get this one game? And it was Conquered Bad Fur Day. I bought it for $5, and that game's like normally like 40 or 50
Yeah.
bucks.
Yeah, it's a harder game. to
Yeah,
find.
it's definitely rare because
especially
it
in
came
the
out
wild like that.
because it came out so late.
Yeah, it was a great game.
Yeah,
Great game.
it's I didn't even. What's so funny is I didn't have an N64 at the time, so I didn't play it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I didn't even test it because I didn't have an N64, or at least
Did you sell it or do you still have that?
I sold that game. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
How much you get?
I got like $60.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
on Amazon you can usually
it's pretty.
eBay.
It's like pretty. It was like perfect condition, but I just have an N64.
That too, and it's like it's in demand. That game's really in demand.
Yeah,
for
people-
N64.
It's like really the adult-oriented like 64 game.
Well, the
Yeah,
thing
yeah,
was
like that.
is that for Conquer on the N64, everybody liked the multiplayer,
Yeah,
and
that
then
was fun.
when they brought it over to the Xbox re-release or the remastering of it, they turned it into like a third-person shooter
Oh really?
with like vehicles. It was really fun too. I played the
Yeah, I never played the remake of that. I only played the original.
I prefer the remake. I know I'm probably gonna get some hate or something like that, but I
Wasn't
love
it like
the remake.
just the same game with better graphics?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly why it's better.
but it looked really good for the Xbox even.
Yeah.
It looked amazing on the Xbox.
I mean, it looks great on N64 too.
Yeah, it's true. Because you had Rare doing their thing.
Rare knew what they were doing.
What's actually interesting about the N64 as hardware is you know how people know that it didn't do that thing that PlayStation did where the characters kind of like wobble or they kind of look all funny whenever they're standing still.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the graphics kind of clip a little bit.
Yeah, I guess.
And N64 didn't have that as much, but the textures for the N64 look a lot worse in some cases because
Yeah, that's true.
because-
Resident Evil.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Resident Evil's a really good example of that.
but the texture, like they can only have 4 megabytes of textures on a game, because that's as much as the N64 could handle. So like, whenever you see it, usually a texture stretched out really far. But Rare for Banjo Kazooie and Banjo Tooie and Conker's Bad Fur Day and I think another game,
Did he come?
they developed a technology to where they could have more textures.
The Donkey Kong.
Maybe Donkey Kong, yeah. But they had this technology for like just those games, so they look better than most of the N64 games.
I see. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's cool.
Good job, Rare. Too bad you weren't with us.
Diddy Kong
anymore.
Racing. Oh, it's like a good
That's
alternative
so
to Mario Kart.
weird. My stepdad was obsessed with the game. It was the only game he played on my N64, but he played the shit out of it. So funny.
That's
pretty
Diddy
funny.
Kong?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Diddy Kong Racing. I didn't have Mario Kart. I had Diddy Kong.
Yeah, it's true. Me too. I don't know. Like later, we rented it or like something.
Well, see, I had this next door neighbor who had an N64 and he had a shit ton of games because his parents were like lawyers or something. So they just bought him games all the time.
yeah.
And so he had Mario Kart. So I would just play his Mario Kart if I ever wanted to play Mario Kart.
Yeah, that's how I played and was disappointed by Pokemon Stadium. When some like rich kid had it. And I was like, this sucks. I'm gonna go play PlayStation.
Oh, I remember one game I rented on N64 and I immediately bought it. Like after playing it was Kirby, the Kirby game on N64.
Oh, and the crystal shards.
Yeah,
or
whatever
something
the
like that.
subtitle.
Dude, that was fun as
That-
hell.
That's probably my favorite in N64. I know I said Super Smash Brothers was. I forgot about Kirby. I love that game.
It's a
Did you forget about
easy
King
to
Griffey
do
Jr.
that.
Baseball?
Ah, shit, Chase.
I
How
know.
did you know?
King Griffey Jr. Baseball.
It's my favorite.
Yeah.
Greatest game ever created.
Yeah, Abraham, what's your favorite N64 game?
I have to say it's probably a toss-up between Pokemon Snap and Kirby. Although Kirby does have that really annoying thing where everywhere you go to is a star, and I'm really anal retentive about shit like that. So I look at all the location names and I'm like, oh god, I shouldn't be.
Oh, like all the levels.
Yeah, it's like Pop Star, Rock Star, like
Oh.
Oh yeah, I
so
remember
retarded.
that.
And I'm like, okay, time to visit a vicious, burning, gaseous giant. Hey, everything's solid. Oh, my brain.
No, it's Kirby universe defies physics.
I know it does.
We're already a pink ball that sucks anything and eat it, and then turns it into a power. Like, how does its digestive system work?
Look,
Kirby sucks.
Kirby's
Like, he
some
doesn't
sort of
poop.
terrible,
Does Kirby poop?
crafty and horror. You don't
Now you're just
explain
overthinking it.
Kirby. If you try to understand Kirby, your mind breaks.
He must like shit like enormous turds with all the guys that he eats.
Why are you
Like,
talking about Kirby's bowel system?
well, I mean, if we're gonna take games seriously
Oh my
here-
god.
Oh, boy,
But-
bring it on.
Alright, so how do you discuss the N64 without discussing Legend of Zelda?
Yeah, I was gonna get to that
I knew you were going
Is
to
that-
go there.
because we.
I
How
went
can you
there.
not go there?
Yeah.
I went there.
Yeah, actually, I completely remember the first time I saw Ocarina of Time, and because I thought it looked so amazing.
Mm.
My brother had this friend Daniel, and we went over to his house, and he was playing it, and I think he was in the like, what's that one called, the fire dungeon or whatever.
Oh
it is.
god.
It's the Dongo Cavern or whatever.
Dodongo.
The dongo.
Yeah, the Dongo.
Gonna bomb some
Dodongos.
So I saw it. I was like, oh my gosh! I was like, what is this game? He's like, it's like it's Zelda. It's like it's taking me 100 million hours to beat this game because he doesn't know like walkthroughs or anything. I was like, I didn't know what to say. I wanted the game so much more than anything, but I didn't have like an N64 like at my house at the time.
I have a kind of funny story about that with Ocarina of Time. I never played it originally. I never played it on N64. But I remember, like, do you remember back in the day when they had video games in the hotel rooms?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were like the rental systems.
Yeah.
And it was like an N64 controller.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm gonna try playing Zelda on this. But I'm like thinking back on that now, it's like, why would you put Zelda on there? You only get like an hour of playtime.
And then you stop, and then all of a sudden it resets.
Yeah, so you couldn't get anywhere in that game. I was like, I felt such. Why did I decide to choose this game?
I know. It's always like, yeah, I choose racing games.
Yeah,
F-Zero.
so I
That's how I played F-Zero.
Oh yeah.
started playing it like, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna play a different game now because like, there's no, where am I gonna get in Zelda in like an hour?
Miter.
That's probably about it.
And
Yeah.
the Water Temple, yeah, we all know about
I
that.
could have just played like
Oh.
Super Smash Brothers for an hour.
That's true. But yeah, the water temple.
Yep.
That's still where all my games stop most of the time.
Mine actually
Yeah.
stopped almost embarrassingly early. You know how in the beginning of the game you have to sneak into the castle and whatever the hell that first city's called.
Yeah.
I was actually never able to sneak into the castle.
Oh, that's like right where I am on the 3DS version.
No, I
Actually.
remember. Weren't we playing that when you were up here and you were like, I can't get past this thing. You're like, I've never got past this thing. I was like, what do you mean?
Yeah,
That's like literally.
I recall that very explicitly.
I
Because
was like,
I must have spent like 3 hours trying to get past the guards, and each
Well,
time
first-
getting caught at the gate.
well, first of all, you have to like get the chicken to wake up the guy, you know, because the guy is sleeping in
Zelda
front of
doesn't
it.
explain shit to you.
Yeah, it's like
It never has.
I used to always get so confused. I'd be like, okay, this guy's sleeping right here. It's like, what do I do? And then you have to get an egg, and you have to wait for the egg to hatch. Then you have to use a chicken to wake the guy up. I was like, how was I supposed to know that?
Jars are like the best items. Gotta get the
And jars, yeah. Bottles. It's not the same thing.
No.
It's not the same thing.
How is a jar different from a bottle?
Anybody play?
Cause
I,
bottles,
I used to be scared of
Oh,
There's only
puzzles
one.
for some
That's,
reason.
there's only one Zelda game, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Majora's Mask, yeah.
I never played that.
I remember that game really explicitly too. Is I rented it, and I had to rent the expansion, like the ramp to
really?
run it,
Wow.
because that game needs
You
the.
could rent that?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
You could-
Some
That's
places,
weird.
yeah.
Think systems before.
Yeah, I remember like you rent the system that comes in a big old gray case.
I used to rent like a Dreamcast before I got one.
I used to rent I think I rented a PlayStation one time, and then my parents just got it. But
Oh, I remember my brother rented PS2 like right when it came out.
oh my gosh.
This is like crazy.
But so I remember when I got Majora's Mask, and I was like, I need the expansion thing to run it because it would like I think you could turn it on, but it would like run terribly or something, or it wouldn't, or maybe it would just pop up with the message.
But
I played it-
exactly what it would do. It would tell you you need the expansion pack to play this game or whatever the fuck. But yeah,
Yeah. So I played that game, and I was like, I didn't get anywhere. I mean, I don't even know how I figured anything out in that game because somehow I got the ocarina, or you know how when you Deku Scrub, it's like giant big old trumpets or
Yeah.
something.
yeah.
But I got surprisingly far. I don't know how I did that, but I guess I just had so much time and there was no internet.
And you just eventually you're gonna start exploring so much. You go and do what you're supposed to do, maybe.
Yeah, but I
You
kept
know.
dying. Like, they do a good job of limiting what you can do in the first day, but if you're slow on it, like I was kind of slow on it, and I died, I was like, oh man, I do all of that again. So it was just like,
I have very little experience with Zelda actually. There's only one Zelda game that I've played all the way through, and that is the
Zelda 2?
the technical. I think this is the first one in the timeline, the official timeline, Minish Cap.
Minish Cap, yeah,
Is
it's
that
the
still the
yeah,
first
it's still
one?
the first one, I
So I've
think.
technically played the first game in the series, and that's it.
Wait,
From a timeline.
they came up
perspective.
with an official timeline. The hell?
Yes, they
Yeah.
actually finally released an official Zelda timeline that has all the games in it, and it's
Are you sure
pretty
it's not the
interesting,
one
actually.
that's floating around 4chan?
no, this one's real. This one's
Yeah.
official from Nintendo.
Release, and it's so weird because whatever.
It's like got 3 different timelines in it,
Yeah.
right?
Because everyone thought that with Ocarina of Time, it made kind of sense if you split that timeline into two.
Yeah.
Like, because it's like, oh, well, you have the one where Kid Link stays a kid and then grows up, and you have the one where he's an adult,
Yeah.
and he just stays there and fights Ganon in an already wrecked world. But it ended up being like 3. So it was interesting.
How'd that third one happen?
I don't know.
I don't remember specifically. I'd have to look it up.
Well, that's
So,
what I gotta do later.
Yeah.
But it's
exactly.
actually pretty interesting. It's not such a huge debate.
Yeah.
Of,
was-
like-
I do
I'm
get
just
the
so
feeling
glad.
though that the timeline's probably some sort of gigantic ass pull just to shut the
It's
Zelda
actually-
fuck up.
Well done.
I'm sure they actually spent a whole bunch of time trying to make it make sense.
Like I'm satisfied with it. I think it's good.
Well, actually, there's still like errors with the canon, and one that
It's so hard.
one that I
to
know
get
off the top of
everything.
my head is you know the pig guys from Wind Waker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know how they're in
Oh, aren't they like they're in the Minish Cap or
They're in the
something?
Minish
and they're not
Cap.
supposed to be there yet.
and Ganon hasn't even showed up or whatever. It's like Ganon spawn or whatever,
Yeah.
but they
Just-
can't be there.
You could just argue they're just happen to be similar looking creatures, maybe
Yeah, you can say that.
like man pigs.
Ass pull.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is it
I
like
mean,
the
it
only
is.
direct sequel, like the first 2 games?
Yeah, 1 and 2. Yeah, Zelda 1 and Zelda 2. That's like directly. But
Yeah,
now they
yeah.
have
They're they're at the end of the timeline. Like Zelda 2 is like one of the last games in the timeline, isn't
Something like
it?
that, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's like really one of the late ones in the timeline.
Because it's like after that point, they had already had like a whole kingdom, and Link has already been named after the hero.
It's funny because a lot of the games are like prequels now.
Oh yeah,
technically.
tons of them.
No, actually, I think I'm wrong. Isn't Skyward Sword the first one now in the timeline? I know it's an early one.
Maybe.
I don't know. I remember it's an earlier one.
That would make sense though if they have settlements in the sky, because they don't have
Yeah.
those like in any of the websites. I think Twilight Princess or something.
Yeah, I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure that's like an early one in the timeline too.
Yeah.
But I haven't played Skyward Sword. I want to.
It's pretty fun.
Oh, you played Skyward Sword?
You have it?
Oh, my friend had it.
Yes, I'm like, you don't have a Wii anymore.
I want to point out something about Skyward Sword. You know
Alright.
how no one thinks that there's any land down there because of the fucking clouds?
Yeah.
Why is it sunny down there when you actually go beneath the clouds? Why
Oh.
isn't it like in fucking eternal darkness?
That's a good question.
Well, is this really high in the sky?
Shut the hell up.
I guess
If you go on a plane, there's a lot of clouds. But if you're on the ground, there's not as many clouds.
scientist over here,
Uh,
meteorologist,
I'm a meteorologist.
Dude, you know,
Chase in the house.
fuck, you're like 30,000 feet in the air, man. You can't breathe up there.
Yeah, I was actually just gonna bring that up because you're like, oh, it's so high. I was like, well, how are they not frozen and like breathing?
This is a
maybe
fucking video
maybe they
game.
do it in like in
Shut the hell up.
because in One Piece they have like there's like cities in the sky, but they can breathe up there.
Man, that's One Piece.
That's not the. Oh, never mind.
It's not really.
That's
That's not the point.
I want to say that's different because One Piece has a motherfucker stretching his arms into infinity.
Yeah, that's because he ate the devil fruit.
Shut the fuck up. That's not the point.
You have any idea what they're talking about?
Uh,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Magic.
Everyone else will know.
Magic.
Magic.
Hey,
It's
Anime
magic.
fans out there.
but so kind of now we can actually talk about the GameCube, especially since we're talking about Zelda.
Okay.
Because I want to talk about
GameCube.
like when the GameCube came out. You know how it was like Nintendo's first disc thing.
I got that for Christmas too.
Yeah, the little discs.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought those were so cool. I was like, oh, they're so little. Like all discs are gonna be like this in the future. Like, because that was at the time where everything was getting smaller, so you just assumed everything to get smaller. I was like, ah, Nintendo, they got the discs smaller.
They got it. They got it.
They got this.
Luigi's Mansion. Oh,
Oh,
Game is
that's
so
been
fun.
so much fun.
I didn't like that game.
But yeah.
What?
But one thing.
I didn't. So the first 3 games I got for GameCube was Wave Race,
Mhm.
Super Smash Brothers Melee, and Pikmin.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Melee was pretty much all I played.
No double dash.
Actually, what I got.
Double Dash didn't come out till like way later.
I disagree.
What I
It
got
wasn't a
was.
launch title.
What I got was.
What?
I'm talking about launch title.
So yeah, but what I got with my GameCube was, I think my brother Brandon for this, is he got me the GameCube that comes with the Wind Waker. It came with Ocarina of Time and Master Quest for the GameCube, and like
Awesome.
I looked it up later, and like just that package, like I got that for free as my GameCube. It's like ridiculously expensive. It's like people like I can sell it for like $70 or $80.
Oh, wow.
Really?
It's so stupid too, because it's this an N64 port and the Wind Waker, which has a billion copies, but people still like will pay so much money for that game.
It's special.
In these days, you can get a GameCube for like $20 at a GameStop.
I know.
There's like a lot of GameCubes are really cheap.
I know.
Yeah.
A lot of people had a GameCube.
I know. Well, no, yeah, they made a ton
Yeah,
of
too.
them, and it doesn't have a lot of features. You know, it doesn't have a DVD player. It doesn't have.
It has one good thing though. It has that Nintendo thing where they're like impossible to destroy.
Oh, I know.
I love
Like,
that.
crap
Well,
out of those things.
Mine fell, and the one time it fell, it broke the reset button.
Oh, that sucks.
Like it got stuck, so I couldn't use the reset button anymore.
Well, that's so funny because you have a Genesis that doesn't have a reset button either.
Yeah, I guess that is kind of
History.
funny. The reset on my Genesis doesn't work either.
Didn't you have a PlayStation that didn't work? No, I haven't. Maybe. But
Isn't there one game where you have to like reset? Like the X-Men game?
oh yeah, for the Genesis.
Yeah.
Yeah, Clone Wars.
You can never play that game.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh man, what a tragedy.
I
I
can't
know, you
play
can't
that
play it.
one part in a
Can't play a second.
shitty game.
Can't play a third-rate X-Men game.
God.
So disappointed.
But yeah, but I actually, I got that. I got Zelda that collection, and I got I think Doctor Muto,
Oh, I remember
which was
that.
like this
That's a
totally.
weird game.
It was like a third-party platformer collectathon game. It was like one of the last of its kind too, because
Yeah,
they started
it
phasing out those like collectathon games later.
Yeah.
But I played the crap out of the game and I never got anywhere.
They kind of gave that gameplay style to like licensed games.
That's so true.
Like, that's what all like licensed games are now.
Yeah, platforming, beat 'em up, collectathons.
Yeah, like of weird stuff like Coraline,
like
or,
Rango.
Yeah, shit like that.
Oh,
Played the
man.
Rango game.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a Rango game for PS3. It's
this is
not-
a game on like every animated movie ever made.
I know.
That is
There's
true.
Like, there's like take the models.
Because Rango is actually a good movie.
I love that movie.
It's such a good western.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, dude.
Oh,
Oh,
you
you
know
know
what?
what?
So cool.
Yeah, I love that movie. It's actually really cool. It's like adult kind of too, which is weird. It's like if you're an adult, then you get like all the, I mean, especially if you're like westerns, they do a lot of references.
Oh yeah. And of
That's
course,
just-
Clint Eastwood shows up at the end.
And Clint Eastwood shows up in it in a
Oh,
golf
man.
cart. He's like, "How are you doing, Rango? You gotta be a hero." Yeah.
Ah, it's so cool.
No, I don't think it's not Clint Eastwood. You can tell it's an impersonator.
Yeah, but it's still really cool.
But, so yeah, so
GameCube.
yeah, GameCube. But so yeah, so
Cubivore.
my favorite, but my favorite Zelda game ever is Wind Waker, and
Mm,
I
yeah.
absolutely,
I disagree.
I get, well, I
You
no,
can't disagree with someone's favorite.
like
I
I know,
It's not your favorite.
I know that,
disagree
My
with the
taste is better than your taste.
I know that a lot of people, especially with Zelda games, like people are so like have their favorites, but that is easily my favorite, especially with the photo thing.
That's a lot of people. Well, that game, it's like such a weird one because it got so much backlash when it was released, but now it's like everyone's favorite.
I know.
I can't imagine.
Yeah, it's either that, like Ocarina of Time, everyone's
Because
favorite.
everyone was so mad when they showed like that
Cartoony Link.
no, like they showed before they showed. Remember they showed that like super realistic one.
Oh yeah,
Fighting Ganon. Everyone's like, "Oh, it's gonna be the next Zelda," and then they showed Wind Waker.
that's so true. Yeah,
And everyone's like, "What the fuck?"
that's right. He was fighting like Pig Ganon or something.
No, it was like I think it was regular Ganon.
Oh okay. Oh yeah, it's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just Ganon. Yeah.
Wii Music, best game on the Wii.
Oh god, that's so bad. Wii music's like garbage.
I got around to playing No.
No More Heroes. That's really funny because I was just playing Killer 7 today, which is a fantastic GameCube game.
You play on PS2.
Well, that's because I only have the PS2 version. I want the GameCube, but I was gonna buy it at that swap meet. That guy wanted $50 for it. I'm like, fuck that.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
I hate those people.
It wasn't even sealed. Like, if it was sealed, I'd be like, okay, $50 is okay. But no, it was wasn't new. It was at a fucking swap meet for $50.
How the hell did he get off?
He wouldn't negotiate.
$50 for a game that's at best a cult classic.
Fucking, I feel like that's Suda 51's masterpiece. Like,
Yeah.
I love No More Heroes, but I feel like I don't think Killer 7's a better game, but I think it's a.
You think it's just
I think
more
it's a
classic?
better Suda 51 game.
Okay.
Like I think it shows off kind of his personality more. Not that No More Heroes doesn't. But it's so out there and it's so weird. And it's kind of like the first game of his that got really known here because he had a couple PlayStation games, but they didn't do so well.
Did
So I'm
you
not
hear
surprised.
that a new No More Heroes thing was coming out?
Yeah, I heard about that.
What new thing?
Well, it's basically yet another update of No More Heroes 1, like that thing that came out here for the US with like the extra bosses and shit. Except
Yeah.
now it's got even more shit from the second game, and an even, let's say, racier version of the Super Sweet mode.
It's supposed to be just like a deluxe version,
I think
It's
I think
the
I
Ultra Deluxe
trying to-
version.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the name of it was. It's like Red something.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, then yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because it's funny. I remember they said they weren't gonna release the PS3 version originally of the remake for No More Heroes.
So you
I
imported
imported
it.
it
Yeah.
like a year before, and then
Yeah.
like a year next year it comes out.
Yeah, that was really funny.
I'm still waiting on that
It's a really
Xbox
game to
360
Play
port.
imported.
Oh, that's not gonna happen.
Most of it's in English actually.
They said it was gonna happen. I'm still waiting for that shit, but something about Connect's shit.
No.
No.
Yeah, I know it ain't happening.
I'm waiting for Lollipop Chainsaw.
Which reminds me,
It's Suda 51.
who
game.
played Shout Out to the Damned?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that game was awesome.
It was real short, but goddamn, that was cool.
Johnny was in it.
I didn't think it was that short. I thought it was a good length. I like
That's what
shorter
she said.
games. I like shorter games because you can finish them. I'd rather finish like a good game in like 10 hours.
That's like me and Dave Tentacle. are like full throttle.
Yeah.
You know, like I love all the PC adventure games, but I can beat them
Well, it's like,
in like a half an hour.
Here's my dilemma right now. It's like I'm playing a Xenoblade, and that game's just like there's so much.
Yeah.
It's gonna take me like forever to beat, but there's
Well,
like other games I want to play.
Think about
Yeah,
what
yeah.
series that is.
I know, but you know what I'm
Xenosaga
saying,
too.
right?
Dude,
Yeah.
you might as well be complaining that, let's say, Disgaea takes too long to beat. You can literally
Well,
play Disgaea forever.
The thing with
Just-
Disgaea is the story mode doesn't take long to beat. If you want to do everything else in the game, all the extra shit, that's gonna take you more than a lifetime.
Oh, Christ. I still haven't done everything in Disgaea, too.
It's impossible.
Nah.
I don't like. There's like infinite item worlds. It's, like each item in the game has its own world in it, and there's like a billion items in the game.
Oh, God. Oh,
And- yeah.
and of course, you have to get to level 9,999 again and again and again.
Yeah, reincarnating tons of characters.
And Disgaea 3's protagonist is voiced by Mick Mignogna, which naturally means the protagonist
Yeah,
is actually Edward Elric.
Yes, I remember that.
All right, well, let's get back
Fourth
to games.
one,
here.
last thing.
We can be on this
What's my
forever.
fucking bastard.
Why I can't talk about this guy?
Animal Crossing. Animal
Oh
Crossing.
man, the game pissed me off.
There we go.
Fuck
Animal Crossing.
I rented that,
Oh.
and when you rent it, it doesn't come with a memory card.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
that game takes a whole memory card by itself, so I couldn't play it. I couldn't save at least, and that's kind of like you're gonna start over Animal Crossing every time you play
It takes like 3 hours
Like-
to get started.
Like,
that
what's the
game.
Yeah.
point?
If you want to do anything, you need.
So I was like so pissed.
That's
that's
like
the,
a-
that's the game's fault. Right?
PlayStation, I had no memory card, so the game I started off with was Kingdom Hearts. Now, I played that game probably 7 times before I actually got the memory card. By the third time, I'd been playing it the whole fucking day.
Ooh.
So I'm like 12 hours in, and I'm like, I'm not doing this again.
I wouldn't have even tried. I'd be like, I'm not gonna play this till I get a memory card.
I can beat it this time with no memory card.
I'm not even kidding. Like, it's funny. Like, everybody has funny memory card stories because I have like when I had a PS1, and you know, everybody knows that I'm way into Final Fantasies and Dragon Quest games and stuff like that.
Naturally.
And I had this memory card that was like a knockoff, and it was like one of those see-through stuff when like see-through stuff was popular.
Yeah.
So it was like a
Yeah.
see-through chip
Super
memory card,
popular.
and it always generated these numbers on there. And I don't know what they meant or anything. I didn't have the manual. I just got like the memory card. I think I stole it from
It's like a
someone.
pager.
Yeah, kind of like you like never know what it means. But every once in a while, it would like reset, and I wouldn't know it. I was like at the end of Final Fantasy VII, and it got erased, and I nearly threw like my PlayStation at the wall because I was
So the memory card would reset as an erase.
it would erase
all the-
everything, just randomly. I don't know what I did. I don't know if I pushed button
That is
combination
like
that would do
the
it.
worst thing ever. I would have killed myself.
And like the like that happened, and I still didn't buy a PS1 memory card because they were still kind of expensive at the time.
Yeah.
And I ended up later playing Final Fantasy VIII, and I got something like 30 hours in that game. I went to go save, and like apparently while I was playing, like the games got erased,
oh my god.
and I was like, oh my god, thank goodness, because like I could actually still save. You know, my game wasn't completely gone, so I was
Oh.
able to save, right? But so I saved, and I was like, that's it. I was like, I'm getting a memory card. I don't care how much it costs. I was like, getting one. I'm not gonna play until I get one. And totally inspired me to get one. So then when I got a PS2, didn't get my parents didn't get it with the memory card, and somehow
Numerous versions didn't come with a memory card.
yeah,
I don't remember that.
they didn't come with the memory card. So my
Mine
brother.
had one.
My brother or something like that bought this like super cheap. I mean, it was like ridiculously cheap, like Game Shark or Game Pro
Oh, okay.
pack,
Oh, yeah, I
And-
remember those.
and it came with a controller, and it was like the wonkiest.
Really?
I still have it. It's like because I won't get rid of it because it's so weird. And
Is that like my GameCube, my orange GameCube?
yeah, like your game controller that
It's
has
like,
an
oh,
M
yeah,
button.
that thing was weird.
It's like super tiny.
Or my
But-
Gamester controller.
well, no, this one
my
was, like, really
Gamester
big.
Xbox controller.
But we had a memory card for it, but you had to put in the disc to activate it every time,
What?
or else it would just be like a cheat device. So you had to
weird.
basically use the thing to turn to a memory card, but it would take forever to get like boot up the disc and click it to activate it.
Ugh.
So I would be sitting there and be like, I don't want to shut off this game because I don't want to have to do this memory card thing in order to boot it up. And I didn't have a regular memory card until like I got my PS3 like 3 years ago or something. Or like 4. I guess it was 4 now because you know it's been a few years.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't have it until like my brother moved out. Like,
Oh.
and he didn't have like a regular memory card.
That's what'd you do?
We just used that thing.
Oh
Like
my god!
every
How did
time-
you survive?
every
That
time,
sounds terrible.
every time we wanted to play a game, we had to pop in the disc, wait like 5 minutes, and then like be able to play a game.
It's like you're doing the swap trick, but just to play
yeah,
the game.
exactly, exactly. That's
Right.
so-
It's like every time you wanted to play a game, it's like installing a new thing on like a modern console.
It's like playing PlayStation 3.
That's like,
Oh my
yeah.
God.
Yeah, update every game.
That's so
Oh,
true.
Fuck that shit.
That's like exactly.
MVC3, that took like a fucking hour.
I
That's
hate
so-
getting new PS3 games, and incidentally, the only new PS3 games I get are anything made by Nippon Ichigo. That's beside the point. I know every time I'm gonna play this thing, I'm gonna have to put it in, wait at least half an hour for the firmware update, the game update, another firmware update.
I was so pissed. We stayed up till midnight to get MVC3. I get home, and it literally takes like half hour to install. At least a half hour.
Dude, that's like nothing.
Remember how long it took you to download Arcade Edition?
Oh my god.
Actually, when I got like, I just bought Rage, and
You were raging?
it had to like install, like hard install to the thing. It took.
Almost all games.
I was
do.
like so excited. I was like, yeah. I had to wait like 40 minutes for this thing to install.
Exactly. It's like you're all excited to play, and now you gotta wait.
And I just threw the game away.
That's why 64 is the great system.
Everybody just turn off their ADD.
I like how like you say N64 is a great
Go-
system, but
go-
you don't do it with any system before like before the latest one.
Go look at some porn for like 40 minutes.
Ugh.
Go back to the game.
I was gonna do that
Oh,
Get all
anyway.
relaxed.
I was gonna do it at the same time, but then like that came up.
Or you just play like Dead or Alive, and it's like porn and a game.
Or
Okay, why are we talking about this?
or you know, I
need two
can
hands
crank
to
up
play, that's
my
hard.
my
Not
360
beach
and play the
volleyball.
exact same thing on there. Wait 2 minutes. If I'm unlucky, I just play it while the same thing installs on my PlayStation.
Or you
Yeah.
play Sexy Beach 3.
Hell yeah.
Here's a. What, do you guys like Super Mario Sunshine better than Super Mario 64?
No.
No, I definitely like Super Mario 64 better.
You know what's so funny is a lot of people, probably people listening to this, they'll probably think we're crazy, but we all went back to play it like what was it, last year?
Yeah.
And we got our asses handed to us in
Yeah,
that
it
game.
was a lot harder than I remember it being.
Like it was surprisingly difficult.
Oh, the freaking
I
Yoshi!
didn't-
I had to eat like the special fruit so it could fly.
Oh
And
my
that was-
God.
That was so funny when you're trying to like figure that out for like an hour.
Chase tried to like they have like Yoshi missions and stuff, and Chase got to this part where like you have to go across these platforms that are like floating. It's inside of that
the
bay
water-
place,
Yeah, it's like the harbor level.
and he could not. I mean, you probably played that for like an hour,
It was
2
so
hours.
long.
Trying to get this thing, and all he had to do was eat like another fruit. It was so funny.
And the boss in that game, like the final when you fight Bowser, is like retardedly easy.
Yeah, especially for a game that like some missions are really difficult.
Yeah, that game is like pretty hard, but then that part's like so easy. It's like Super Mario 64. It has like it's actually hard to beat the Bowser, or
Yeah.
at least it's kind of hard.
It kind of.
Yeah,
I guess it's not that hard, but it was hard at the time. At
If
least.
you ever watch our live streams, which we do rarely,
probably
I guess.
hard if you didn't know what you were doing.
Yeah.
We play
Well, I mean, it is the same as the other two Bowsers, but at least like the level's like falling apart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think of that, Mr. Ham?
Sunshine's kind of funny because while it's not a very good game in my opinion, it's
Okay.
curiously a better example of characterization of Mario as whatever character he exists as. As a so-called plumber, it makes more sense.
Yeah.
But it's
that's,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
a good point. I really thought
Yeah,
that.
that's true.
He hasn't really done any plumbing since like the arcade game.
Yes, and his plumbing consists of going into enormous pipes.
Hey,
It's like what is
The game is like too kid friendly.
Okay, so let me see here. Okay, so we're thinking that the Mario world is kind of like a medieval kind of place. Do they have a sewer system? Why do they need a plumber?
That's
They live in
sewers like
castles.
Rome.
I
They
would
live in castles.
I would say that more in like Super Mario RPG or Paper Mario series. It's more modern. Like you go into places and they have like bathrooms and stuff. But if you're talking about like the platforming games that they have, like all the 3D ones,
what I'm
that's
thinking
kind of a
about.
good question. It's like especially like Super Mario Galaxy.
Well, I'm thinking
How
about
can you have
like,
plumbing on those
well,
planets?
Like I'm thinking about like when Mario was first like an idea. Like just think of Super Mario Brothers. It's like this just like medieval kind of platform. It's like a plumber. And it's Italian.
An incredibly
Does Italy
Italian
even
plumber.
exist?
Hell yeah, it goes around shrooms, beating up animals, collecting cash, and going to chase after some broad.
It sounds like every
See, I think-
Italian.
No,
the
wasn't there some plumbing
I think
system
his
in ancient
plumber,
Rome?
his plumbers have just contrived.
Ancient
Just
Rome,
need
there-
to give him a job.
Yes, they had plumbing in ancient Rome.
And a mustache.
yeah. See, Mario,
No.
it makes sense. He has a hat
This is
and
Japan.
a mustache.
Let's see. Yeah.
Mario
His original name was
RPGs, great
Jumpman.
games or the greatest game?
No, his last name is Jump.
Mario RPGs. Oh, dude.
Mario Jumpman.
Yeah,
Mario-
Mario Jumpman.
Mario Jump. Oh,
That's
yeah.
his name.
Yeah. Oh, from the movie or whatever.
It's
Oh,
canon.
Oh shit,
Uh,
the movie. I
Oh
can't.
god.
Why did you remind me that exists?
No. Okay. That's for next podcast. That's the subject of video game movies next one. We're not talking about that right now.
You spoiled it.
I'm so sorry. But
Actually, you just
so I think that the Mario RPGs for the Paper Mario and
Oh, we never talked about Paper Mario for 64. That game's awesome.
yeah.
I always forget that's on the N64.
Yeah, I do too. I was
Like, it just doesn't seem like an N64 game, but
Well, plus it didn't seem like it was advertised like as heavily.
I remember watching my friend play it, and I was like, whoa, it's weird.
Well, it's an RPG for the N64.
It's
Yeah.
really fun.
That's the reason.
It's pretty much the best RPG,
Yeah.
easily. 'Cause
Well, it's
there's
like one of the only
there's not
real
much,
ones.
There's not much to contend with.
Yeah. Aiden's Chronicles.
Quest-
Quest
Quest,
64.
N64 sucks.
That's like there's not many RPGs.
No.
Maybe Fortress 64 if you're counting something or anything like that. But yeah, that Abraham brings up that the Paper Mario RPGs are one of the best examples of like a beginner RPG ever. Like
Yep.
you not know shit about the mechanics of an RPG, and you can play through that game and probably do pretty well. Except for like Superstar Saga, because like that game gets brutally difficult. But yeah,
Well,
Oh,
they,
Mario
they
Luigi.
do the battle
really-
system.
Oh, that game is fun. That game
I
is
dig
really hard.
Paper Mario so much.
oh yeah, the
I
game's
need to replay
great.
that. That was fun.
Yeah, well we have
I think
it.
I think I played a little bit of the GameCube one.
Thousand Year
so-
Door.
Yeah, I think I played some of
That game is like amazing.
That's
Like
pretty
I
fun.
want to rebuy that game. I don't know why I haven't, but it's
I
like
don't see it.
I always
as,
forget
like,
about that game.
usually.
yeah,
Paper
I know.
Mario.
Well, that game it is like kind of advertised, but I always feel like those games don't get as much advertisements as like obviously the other Mario games, especially since a lot of the Mario games come out kind of early. Like Mario Galaxy came out really early with
They're
the
usually like launch titles or
Yeah.
close to it.
but Super Mario Sunshine was
Fanboys.
No, it wasn't. But most of them are.
everybody's pissed about that. So
Well,
Luigi's Mansion was
the 3DS didn't get one either.
oh yeah, that's
It's like
right.
finding a Luigi game that was awesome. Oh, and Pikmin. We haven't talked about Pikmin.
Let's
Pikmin,
talk
yeah.
about Pikmin.
Those are the first games I had.
Pikmin is so fun.
I had a hard time playing that when I had it.
I like never even got
The
past
final
like
boss is
third
really
level.
hard the
I
first
like-
time.
I was playing the first one. I think I got like the first boss, and it killed like all my Pikmin. And I was like, I'm done.
What's the first boss?
It's like that red guy.
Yeah, the big red guy.
Shaped
I
like a
don't know.
fruit.
I sure it was like the
Yeah, it
first.
looks like a strawberry.
It was like the first big guy, and he just killed like all my Pikmin.
It's still actually it is a pretty hard game. It's not that easy.
Yeah,
So
Well,
it's like
it's like
later
a-
in the game.
it's like an RTS on the basically.
Kinda,
yeah,
yeah.
it pretty much is a RTS. I think most people say it's a RTS.
Sort of
Yeah,
funny.
I would.
I don't know what
but
else you would call
once
it.
you beat Pikmin and your little spaceship leaves the planet, pretty much just leaving the Pikmin to get slaughtered by everything.
That's nice.
Well, then the second one came out, which isn't as fun because like the first one has like a really good story. It's like you have to like have these Pikmin help you so you can like rebuild your ship so you can live. The second one's like you go there with your coworker to collect trash.
That's real inspiring.
Hell no,
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, and it's actually a rare game now. I remember it was pretty hard to find. It was like $40.
Yeah, that's expensive.
That was like a year ago. Maybe not. That
Yeah,
long.
I think
we
it
went
was.
to the we went to that game store.
Yeah, I'm fucking.
Oh, I got
Where
lit-
was that?
Something
remember.
random.
It
Yeah.
was Mission
way
Viejo.
out
I don't
there.
remember that either.
It was way. You don't remember that?
No, I mean I remember it, but I don't
Oh,
remember where
I
it
think
was.
it's like a
Remember
Mission
that?
Viejo.
'Cause I found a Killer 7 strategy guide there.
Oh, that's right.
Like they were selling old strategy guides. Like that's so awesome.
That store was really cool. They had a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, they're it's so much better than games for less.
That's the first time I ever have seen
I hate games for less.
a Jaguar in real life.
Yeah, me too.
It's the only time I've ever
Virtual
Oh
Boy.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they're like
Wow,
a
that's
They had
toy
all
right,
those
Jaguar.
Jaguar?
systems there. Oh,
Yeah.
they had like a Simpsons arcade.
Yeah,
Did they have like a Ninja Turtle one too?
yeah, Ninja Turtles. They had
That's a
Ninja
cool
Turtles
store.
and Simpsons. And I think
So
they
much
had,
better
like,
than Games for
some other
Less.
game.
And if anybody works for Games for Less,
in
they're
Costa
listening to
Mesa
this,
or Newport. Yeah,
you can go
Newport.
fuck yourself. Your store is a piece of shit. Everything's overpriced. Every worker you have there is a douche asshole. So go fuck yourselves.
I will just say this: that if anyone thinks like, "Oh man, I wish I had a retro game store," like, "Oh, where I live," don't. If it's like this one, 'cause
And
it's, like,
basically,
terrible.
I go in, I ask if I have a game, he's just like, no.
no.
Like, doesn't even attempt to like look or check it. At least give me the satisfaction
they're
of looking on a computer or something.
Extremely overpriced.
Nah.
Extremely overpriced.
Let's get off this. I
Oh,
want to talk about one of my,
Castlevania, $50.
I want to talk about one of my favorite GameCube games.
No box.
This is
No
this,
box.
This game is multi-platform. Well, I guess talk about two
What
games.
games are you talking about?
Mario Party 4?
Harvest Moon,
Okay.
A Wonderful
oh.
Life for the GameCube, Oh my god! Anyone who knows
Kinda
me knows
cool.
that. Like when I put that game in, I get like addicted. That game's so much fun.
It's like Animal Crossing.
It's like it's like Animal Crossing, but for me, it's like more extreme, especially since the character looks more similar to me than a giant
A
ox.
farming-based dating simulator.
Shut up. That's what it is, though.
You know that it's weird. I don't actually like those games a lot. But when you say it like that, was it a farming based dating sim? That
Yeah.
sounds like something I could be found playing.
Dude, it's like I absolutely.
Well, you gotta charm a girl and marry her and have kids and shit.
And then you got like then you could ignore her after you get married.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's pretty nice.
Just like real life.
Yep.
Hell
Remember
yeah,
in Fable,
man.
like kill your wife?
And what? A Fable, yeah.
That's funny.
But yeah, and then also the other GameCube game I want to talk
But
about.
it's more evil to get a divorce.
I
than
couldn't kill
your
my
wife.
wife in Fable 1.
Like you get way more evil points divorcing her than killing her.
That's so funny. I know that
That
was
was
like a joke they
hilarious.
put in, or whatever.
Yeah, the funny thing is, if you're like a wife-based serial killer, you can just keep doing this, raise your morality up really, really high. Just get married, kill her, married, kill her, married, kill her, married,
That's
kill
true.
her. And you get a bunch of money out of it, too.
It's a good system.
But so yeah, one of my favorite games, and everyone wishes that this would be ported to something else, and I do too, is Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes.
So many problems with getting that off there.
Yeah, it's a remake of
It's a different studio did it. Right?
anyone who doesn't know
Wasn't it Silicon Knights?
Silicon Knights.
Yeah.
It's a remake of the first Metal Gear Solid, the one for the PlayStation, and it just updates it to basically like almost Metal Gear Solid 2 graphics.
Yeah, I'd say pretty close.
And it's on 2 discs, but apparently the reason they can't release it, like they didn't release it on the anniversary collection or whatever that was for the PS3, was because it was basically completely redone by Silicon Knights, who directed all the everything for it. You know, Konami basically left it in their hands, and they can't release it as easily as the other stuff, which is all in house. So, but yeah, I mean that game's amazing.
Yeah, it's really cool.
And
While
you
we're on
definitely
the
tell-
subject of Metal Gear, I think one thing is topical. Revengeance.
Oh my gosh, the new.
I'm looking forward to that.
Oh god, that's like looks so cool, but I mean, come on, that name,
Yes, exactly. That.
Like Rebelgade.
Rebelgade, yeah.
It's like this, they like totally copying my way of thinking, taking two words that mean basically the same thing and putting them together.
Ah, that's like so funny though.
Revenge and vengeance.
Once
like
this is
you put
done,
those two
I
together.
think I'm gonna go back.
It's
and watch
triple
that.
the revenge.
And watch, oh, the trailer, yeah,
Yeah.
it's sick.
And all the butthurt on the internet was kind of startling about how they changed everything when all we had ever seen of this game was like a 5-minute tech demo of a mechanic that could not have held an entire game.
Huh.
Would have been cool.
Would have been neat though.
Well, see, I have so much confidence in this game now because Platinum is taking over.
Yeah.
I just
and
don't.
I have complete faith in them.
I
as a
just don't know
studio.
if the fan base of Metal Gear Solid. I mean, like that's one of the biggest fan bases ever is Metal Gear Solid.
But Metal Gear has that very funny sort of fan base that likes a game with the most atrocious writing. So we have to admit,
That's kind of true.
I love the story of Metal Gear regardless of how stupid it is.
First Metal Gear?
Oh, first Metal for the NES. Yeah, I we all love.
Don't we
Solid,
collectively
but
choose to ignore its existence though?
what the NES one?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't. Oh, that game.
MSX version.
The MSX one's.
I mean they're canon still, so I like.
Isn't
Well,
like-
well, the MSX version is
Yeah.
not the NES one, really. But
Well, okay.
they just took the story and like,
Yeah, they like changed.
I like the one that engages, like cans the story.
oh yeah, that one that was like developed for the
Whoever
Engage.
fucking
Or like
played
the
that?
the Metal Gear Solid mobile thing.
Did any of you ever know anyone who had an Engage? Because I did.
I don't even.
I
know.
want-
It was
saw
too
a
expensive.
dude.
I wanted to buy one.
I never saw one even in real life before.
I
I
saw
did.
one dude who had one. That's the only time I ever saw an
You had to take out the fucking battery to play a game.
There was
What?
Yeah, that's how you played a game. You did open it up, take out the battery, and then put the game in.
Yeah.
The game was like under the battery,
I thought.
Uh,
and you had to hold it like a taco to talk.
Well, the weirdest thing I always thought about the Engage.
if you're holding your iPhone like this to talk on it,
Oh my god.
not that you could see what
yeah,
I'm
now that
doing.
you can see that. But
Just giving Chase an example.
the weirdest thing I thought about the Engage, because I saw it at like a game store or maybe like a or Nokia store.
No, I saw it at game stores. I remember seeing it
Yeah.
at like GameStop.
and it was like one of those display things, and I played
EB
it.
Electronics.
But the screen was really weird because it's like it's taller than it is wider.
Really, that sounds
What?
terrible.
Yeah, like here, let me show you a picture of an Engage. It's like
I don't remember that.
So why didn't they like flip the screen?
They're stupid.
See, like,
oh
look.
yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's like tall.
Yeah.
It's like
It looks more like an arcade cabinet kind of thing.
And the screen, I don't remember
God,
it.
those buttons look awful.
Yeah, the buttons are so bad. Like, look at that.
Oh, look at that D-pad.
Ugh, it's like garbage.
It's so terrible. Yeah, that's the part you talked on right there. Like that top
The
part.
top part. The top, like, it's like if you turn your iPhone.
Sideways.
It's just like I don't even know.
You talked on the edge of it, basically.
But yeah, that Metal Gear Solid Mobile or stuff. I think they broke it up later for like cell phones or something like that. Like
Probably.
the
They love
episodes.
those cell phone games in Japan.
But yeah, it's actually like canon. It's so funny because like a mobile episodic game that they split up and
Well,
whatever.
there's so much time, like dead time in the Metal Gear timeline. You could put it somewhere usually,
Yeah.
and it could be kind of canon.
I just want more games with Big Boss. That's all I care, man.
Well,
Which reminds me, was Peace Walker any good?
oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, that game's good.
It's so amazing.
It's hard.
I loved that game.
I want
I was playing that on the PS3 one.
I
It's
played I played the PSP version when it originally came out.
but the game's like hard.
Yeah, it's really hard. I have so many like rage-inducing moments from that game. This is the worst thing about the game. Okay, is that you know in Metal Gear you usually a trank gun better than trying to kill someone most of the time.
Yeah.
You know, silencers and stuff like that.
always.
So I usually try to like just trank guys, and the only way to trank a guy in one hit is hitting him in the head. Because if you hit him in the body, it takes more than one hit in Peace Walker. But like in later stages of the game, enemies will have helmets on, and when you shoot him in the head, you have to shoot the helmet off first and then shoot him in the head. But the thing is usually with how the PSP control system isn't like, it's kind of hard to be really accurate in like a third-person shooter kind of setting.
Yeah, because they have dual analog sticks.
Yeah.
or-
And so basically what you have to do is you have to hit them like twice in the head really fast. Usually when you knock their helmet off, they notice you, and then they'll run away, and then you're, getting noticed in Metal Gear is almost usually a death sentence.
Yeah.
So the game becomes really frustrating towards the end. The last boss took me a really long time to beat. But
Yeah.
the ending of it is so worth it to see. Such a good ending.
Yeah.
It's almost as good as Metal Gear Solid 3.
No joke, people. Imagine this. Imagine Captain Goyle in an army jacket
Oh yeah.
and the bandana that came with Peace Walker. He's sitting on the couch going, I'm Snake. I need to beat this mission.
I was in the last state. I was fighting that last boss. I was like, I gotta beat this.
You were so into it too.
I was having so much. It's such an intense battle. Because I was like, at the end, I had almost no ammo for any gun. I had like nothing, and it's just like barely beat it. It's super intense. It was a lot of fun. I like that game a lot.
Big Boss. The manliest man? I think so.
Yeah. Oh,
Fuck yeah.
I showed my dad. He was visiting, and I showed him Metal Gear Solid 3, and
Love that game so much.
he's like, "What's up with that guy's voice?"
He smokes a lot.
Because Snake's just like, "Oh yeah, I'm in the base." It's just like, wow,
Yeah.
like I must smoke
Cigar
like
smoke
crazy.
runs through my veins.
Like
Yeah.
he eats gravel.
Yeah, I know.
I was playing a 3DS version of that. It's pretty fun. Pretty good port.
Yeah, I just wish that
They replaced all the what are those things that you shoot?
I know those frog
Those little
things.
frogs.
yeah.
They replaced them all with like Yoshi in the Nintendo in the 3DS version.
I think they called Karibos or
Karibos,
something.
yeah, they replaced all the Karibos with like the little Yoshis.
Karibo.
Yeah.
That was fun.
I played. God, I wasted so many hours playing Metal Gear Solid 3. It's ridiculous.
Did you ever try doing those monkey missions
They're
from Apex
so
Cape?
hard.
I know, right? They were like fucking impossible. I was so bad at those.
Ugh.
I tried so hard. I was like, damn.
That little monkey bastard was harder to kill than it had any right to be.
Yeah. So, Twin Snakes, amazing.
We need that.
Oh, by the way, if you try and pick up Twin Snakes now, it's like really kind of up there in price.
Oh, it's a Metal Gear game.
It's like,
It hasn't been ported to anything ever.
well, actually, when you say it's a Metal Gear game, like almost every other Metal Gear game is super cheap.
Well, that's because they're pretty easy to find.
Yeah, like 2, 3.
Unless you want to get
kinda
to like,
one.
unless you want to get like the subsistence.
Yeah. Oh.
Like some of those can
Oh
be
my
hard.
God,
Like
yeah.
number 2,
Yeah.
finding
No.
subsistence is pretty rare.
Oh, there's like a trivia thing. If you have the PC one of Metal Gear Solid 2, there's like this mode you can go to where you watch the cutscenes and you can pause them and like look at how they're all made. Like you can zoom into like the background people and stuff.
Oh really?
Yeah, and if you watch the final cutscene, you can pause it at this one point
Oh yeah. I
and like
remember
way
times.
out in the middle of like the crowd, just randomly in the crowd. You cannot see it in the cutscene unless you unpause it and go there. It's Vamp. He's like in the crowd.
Oh man.
I was like, oh my god.
Why is he there?
Blew my mind.
Metal Gear Solid
That-
4. That ending.
Wrapped everything up nicely.
Oh, that was
I
so
think.
good. Ah, I nearly cried.
That was a great game.
I'm kind of ashamed to admit that I really like Metal Gear Solid 4.
Why?
Big-
I love Metal Gear Solid 4
People only make fun of that game just to troll it
because
because it has long cutscenes.
they never played Xenosaga.
And
Oh my
because they made
God.
Raiden into a goddamn breakdancing cyborg ninja. And
Yeah,
nobody
it's
likes
fucking
him
awesome.
still.
If you don't like that, then you're not cool.
Okay, I will say that took me by surprise.
I thought it was fun.
That
Vamp and him fight is fucking epic. I
Uh.
love that. Love that scene. It's one of my favorite scenes.
is ridiculous.
And then Big Boss shows up at the end. But we all thought he was dead.
He's old.
It's like no.
Well, no, he's supposed to be like that dead corpse thing.
Yeah, that was Solidus.
Wasn't.
Yeah.
Oh, but apparently Solidus is gonna be in the new one.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I don't know how they're gonna do that shit.
Well, if they're making it based on Raiden, he pretty much has to be because he's like
Yeah.
basically Raiden's father.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So, any other GameCube games anyone wants to talk about?
Not sure, but I want to make fun of Liquid Ocelot for a bit.
Oh my god.
The arm.
That was like, okay, what was up with that? It's like 2, it's like, okay, it really possesses him. Then 4, it's like, oh no, he only acted like it was possessing him because he's crazy.
Well, I think that was the whole thing.
I was like, but why does his voice change? In
yeah,
2
that
then?
doesn't make any sense.
That's like because they decided to like make that not canonical or whatever that thing. It's like it blew my mind. I still can't even like play it and take it seriously.
Of course not. For three
cares?
for three
To go
games
inside-
of change, they had a dude possessed by another dude's arm.
Does that mean that? Oh, never mind. I ain't gonna go there.
Does that mean like when he's masturbating?
Yes.
Is he masturbating or is
Yeah.
it a hand job?
Yeah.
And then at
exactly.
the end, it's like, oh no, I was only pretending to be retarded.
Yeah, that was like biggest troll ever. It was like, I'm really not.
And he had like a big
Weirdo.
face on his ship.
Ugh.
Shut up.
I'd say Mario Party 4 is the last good Mario Party game.
Didn't play it.
I probably did.
It's like
I
the
can't
first one is good
remember
because
them
it's
as much.
classic. The second one is amazing. The third one is horrible. Fourth one, pretty good. Then beyond that, it just gets really weird.
Yeah, they started really changing shit.
I remember
Make
Mario
more
Party like
more?
8 or whatever. Like you're like buying hotels. It's like
Wait,
fucking
it's like-
Monopoly.
What'd you say, Abraham?
They made more than
Mr. Ham?
4?
They made 8.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
they're
8
up
of
to
them.
like. Actually, I think they're up to 9 now, aren't
What?
Yeah.
they? You didn't know they kept making them?
No.
Then they made Fortune Street
Oh yeah, Fortune Street has Dragon Quest characters
and Mario.
and
characters.
Mario.
That sucks. It's like Monopoly if it was really boring.
Oh my gosh. What about Sonic? Not Sonic Make. Well, Sonic Make Collection. I played that like crazy, right? Because my Genesis, I had to fix my Genesis.
Yeah, you played Sonic on everything.
I know. Yeah, if you look at all my
We
games.
don't need to talk about Sonic.
So Sonic the Hedgehog. No, we'll have an episode dedicated to that.
No, we
But
won't.
What's that new Sonic game? The anniversary shit?
Sonic Generations,
Yeah.
amazing.
I didn't actually play that, but I had the misfortune to have my cousin over for like 2 months. And as soon as he came out, he got the game, and he would not stop playing it. So I happened to see the entire game. And the whole time, I'm like, wow, why?
I'm gonna talk about Cubivore.
Cubivore.
Did anybody
Alright.
else play Cubivore?
I played it a little tiny bit.
I rented that game. I was like, this is the most awesome game ever.
Yeah, I know you say that all the time. You're like, what a Cubivore, man?
Cubivore's fucking awesome. That's such a random game. You're a weird ass cube thingy. And you gotta go eat other weird thingies until you can fuck another thingy and make another thingy, and it's just like forever.
It's pretty interesting. It's like a
Sounds
randomly
like-
awesome game like Lover.
Sounds like a relationship. Oh, Glover.
Oh my god, Glover.
For the N64. Actually, one game that I really remember, and I bought it. I don't know. I think I maybe bought it as a greatest hits, but it was the Resident Evil remake for the GameCube. That is like the freaking scariest game ever. Especially because I played Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3 like initially on the PS1, and you know those games don't have the best atmosphere because of the PS1, especially number 1, because like the jump from the PS1 version of Resident Evil 1 to Resident Evil on the GameCube is insane. It looks
Would
amazing on the GameCube. It's
Well,
probably one of the
look at-
best
look at-
looking.
Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, well, no, Resident Evil the remake is like seriously one of the best looking GameCube games of all time. Like the lighting, it's just perfect. It's crazy. It blows me away still, but that's not the point. They released it for the Wii too, and I don't think that one was as good.
Probably.
Kind of like what they did. They put Resident Evil Zero on the Wii, and it wasn't as good either.
They put a lot of stuff on the Wii that probably shouldn't have been on the Wii.
Yeah.
That's for another time. I'm not talking about the Wii, even though we kind of did.
Yeah, we kind of did.
Well, yeah, you know, they're all kind of pretty
Well, I
related.
mean, there's a lot of sequels of like classic N64 to GameCube to Wii games. So we're talking about series of stuff. You kind of gotta.
Yeah, we're talking
into
about
that sometimes.
high-profile games like
Mario.
No, I was trying to think of something stupid. Like
Falcon.
Captain
Falcon isn't the game.
Yeah, dude. It's the game.
F-Zero.
Is there an F-Zero
No.
on the Wii?
The platformer game.
No. Yes. I don't know. I don't think so.
Huh.
I don't think have they made a new F-Zero game since like the GameCube.
GX? I don't know.
I don't think there's. Is there a Wii one?
I don't think so.
there is. Unless you count Virtual Console.
It would be too hard with the Wiimote.
I count the virtual console. I
Probably.
count the virtual console. Why didn't you say
Then
that?
sure there is, Chase. You can play it on there. I think
But
there's some really good games on the Virtual Console actually. I'm
they don't
surprised.
update it. I found out. Like they haven't updated. They don't update stuff
Oh,
like
really?
ever on there. I guess.
So I had like never gone on there before. Really.
Yeah, we checked it like
And
recently.
I was like,
Still
looking at it,
no
I was like,
Earthbound.
oh, there's some.
Still no Earthbound.
There never will be.
Nope.
There's like Earthbound 64
Oh.
on the DD.
Oh, disk drive. I had that. I'm sure everyone else did.
You don't.
We should do a review of Mother
I had the
3.
white one.
Sure you did.
I have the.
The disc came like in a cartridge. It was like, what the hell?
It's like a floppy disk.
Yeah, it's like a
That's what it
floppy.
looks
It's
like.
exactly like a floppy disk.
But what do you guys think of like Metroid Prime?
Yeah. I
I've never
didn't know
been-
where
I've
the
never-
fuck to
I've
go.
never been a big Metroid fan either.
Oh.
I just
I never got into those games.
I wanted to, but it's just too hard.
I didn't like first-person shooters, so I didn't want to play Metroid Prime when it came out. I didn't like first-person.
Yeah, I don't like first person shooters either.
See, I'm a big Metroid fan. I'm a big Metroid fan.
Cause
And when I first heard about Metroid Prime, I was like, what? like
Say what?
like the first person shooter?
It's a pretty big transition of genre.
Yeah, but then when you play it, it has like the same mood and stuff as the like.
Yeah.
It's really cool the way they did it. But yeah, then I got Other M.
Well, that one's usually pretty highly regarded
Ew.
next to Super Metroid.
You actually played Other M?
Yeah, I play pretty much every Metroid game.
I
Yeah.
appreciate them. I just don't personally like them.
I just like seriously, Metroid Other M was fun, but like you have to ignore the story.
That's what I hear.
My
I like
it's
that.
like my heart drops every time he says like my name. I was like, is that really a line? Is that seriously a line in here? I was like, did I just see this? I
She's
just
got feelings now.
like
Samus can feel
it's not that like
feelings.
It's not-
Metroid is a girl.
it's not that they couldn't have done it right. It's
They just didn't do it right.
they just didn't do it right. They
Well-
could give Samus a story.
Well, look at who they got to make Other M.
But why do you need to?
Team Ninja
Yes.
or whatever. Yeah.
Fuck them.
And
I hate
what are they most known for?
Yeah. I
Samus
know.
is like a character I like-
shitty games.
I never wanted to hear talk.
You never want to hear Samus talk?
I never wanted to hear
I don't
talk.
like.
Yes.
It's like Gordon Freeman.
They made Heavenly Blade, right?
I don't know anything about
No,
that.
Ninja Theory made Heavenly Blade. Team Ninja makes Dead or Alive
DOA.
volleyball.
I was thinking of Ninja Theory.
Oh no, it's Team
No,
Ninja.
Team
Theory
Ninja's-
actually kind of.
Team Ninja's fine. Ninja Theory can go fuck itself though.
Oh,
I think they suck.
why?
Heavenly Blade was terrible.
Oh,
The only thing good about that game, that like the only one is like the facial expressions are really good. That was like kind of one of the first games where they started using like motion capture for like facial features, trying to make them like really really good. I remember like it was kind of like big on that, but the game sucked. It wasn't fun, and a lot of like control problems, especially with like the shooting parts in it.
well, one thing I want to say
It was really boring too.
is people stop selling you goddamn N64
What
games
about-
so expensive.
Yeah, that's a pretty good point.
Seriously.
Yeah, that's some expensive plastic there.
Ooh, one thing I want to talk about is, you know how they were basically guessing or saying that the new Xbox would use like solid state drives.
Oh,
to it?
yeah, yeah.
So it would be like cartridges again. That'd be so cool.
That would be cool.
I wouldn't recommend blowing into a solid state drive.
But it's kind of you'd think they just be going for like the complete download market now.
Well, what I would think is they would either be doing that or going for Blu-ray. But obviously, I think Sony owns part of Blu-ray now, like the patent on Blu-ray. So I think that they would have to pay money to Sony. I'm not positive on this, so don't quote me on it.
Yeah, I
but
don't know either.
but like it's strange that they haven't talked about doing Blu-ray at all. You know, that it seems like that hasn't even been a decision they've made.
Mhm.
It seems they talked a lot about doing download stuff. You know, kind of like how Valve was talking about the Steam box. And,
Well, as long as they don't put cartridges in cardboard boxes,
oh my god, that'd be so funny.
it's the worst.
Yeah,
I never kept those for Game Boy or N64.
I kept my Game Boy Advance ones.
No, I never
kept
never kept my boxes.
I had them, and I think we lost them when we moved.
I kept all the manuals. Like I had a box just like full of all like the Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance
Yeah.
manuals, but I never kept the boxes.
I like the GameCube ones. They're like nice plastic boxes. Like
Yeah.
snap.
Pop music. No,
Well, I guess with the
nobody else
discs,
got
you
that.
actually have to put those in a box. You don't just like leave them there. Like 64 games, you just like leave there.
I know.
Yeah.
I just sit there. Look, I have a stack of those, so it's like,
Yeah, like, they're fine, but they're like discs. Yeah, they gotta be like in a case or something.
yeah. Just in case you didn't know, Magical Orange Road is coming out for the PS3, Xbox, DS,
For the PS4.
They're coming out for the iPhone.
PS4, iPhone.
iPhone
I could probably actually make it for the iPhone.
Probably
Actually,
pretty easy.
yeah, it'd probably actually be pretty simple.
Released on Xbox Live Marketplace Indie section.
Oh my
Next to
god.
Alpha Chimps.
Huh? Yeah. Oh god, that game's so. Yeah. If you want to see something funny, look up Alpha Chimp for the Xbox 360.
Indie Market.
Yeah, indie market thing.
Whatever.
What?
Oh
Shit
my
was-
god,
That game's like funny as hell.
Why
But-
does that sound horrible then?
dude,
Because it is horrible.
You don't even know. It's like,
So those games are really funny.
It's worse than Bubsy 3D.
You.
yeah, I would say that. Even it's like ridiculous.
It's barely even a game.
It's like all
It's
those
like
games.
Big Rig Trucker or whatever that game was on
Off
the
the-
PC.
Big Rigs Racing.
Yeah.
Big Rigs Over the Road Racing.
It's like the most unfinished game ever
Uh.
that was released.
All right, so I think that's it. Anybody else have
Yeah.
anything to add?
That was pretty good.
Wrap this up.
Wait.
Wrap it up.
Yeah, 64 is my
Got
favorite.
anything else to say, Ham? Way out.
Well, since we haven't touched this subject yet, and
We'll touch it lately.
well, let's see.
We gotta start wrapping up.
All right, Katawa Shoujo. Let's talk about that.
Why do we have to talk about it?
Why not?
What is it?
Katawa Shoujo.
So, you know, the dating sim with the cripple girls.
Oh my god. No, okay. Thank you for joining us at
It's a
SlimeWire.
good game.
It is. It's got a good
It's
story.
it's right there.
It's engaging,
Okay.
like
Let's start
and
it
likable characters.
We are done with this.
It's it's an interesting topic actually because there's a game that kind of started off as a joke on 4chan and a bunch of people actually fucking made it.
Yeah. What's that artist's name that actually
I don't know.
drew up the original sketches?
The original sketches
Give me a
were
second.
like-
I actually have a bunch of
They were so
of
bad. They were like Toho bad. Just some of the worst art ever.
You're Toho.
Thank you. It's an interesting thing because it's dating sim made by a bunch of just random people. American
Raida.
people.
That's a dude's name, Raida.
Yeah, well, they use like the other screen names for stuff. I don't know. That's what I was.
Maybe.
But
Raida
it took
actually
a,
like works with things.
5 years into Melt. They tried making this game. I never thought it would come out.
I didn't know it took that long.
Yeah, it took a long time.
Hey, go to your. Remember
Captain
Valkyria
Goyle.
Chronicles?
Valkyria Chronicles.
Yes. That's the
Yes.
same artist.
Really?
That's
I
the
didn't
exact
know
same
that.
artist.
Well,
Yes.
you did a better job on Valkyria
Yeah.
Chronicles. I'll say that.
Bunch of nerds.
Nerd.
But let's just leave it up on that. You can go look that game up if you're into dating sim game, visual novels.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Let's hear everybody's favorite N64 and GameCube game, and we'll close out on that.
Okay, my favorite N64 game is probably Super Mario 64.
It's a good choice.
And my favorite GameCube game is Wind Waker, easily.
Okay.
All right,
Those are pretty
all right,
acceptable.
Chase.
Yeah, I'd probably say Mario Kart. I just love that game so much. It's just so fun.
It's a good one.
And GameCube. It's a tough call between Animal Crossing and Pikmin, but I'd probably say Pikmin.
I know you were gonna say Pikmin.
All right, Mr. Ham.
My favorite N64 game was that Ava Monstrosity came out at the end.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
Oh.
For that?
Dave Yelling game.
Yeah.
It's a good one. It's really hard.
Yeah, it's really
Is
difficult.
it even Gelling game for the 64?
Yes.
What?
I'll show it to you.
No.
The fuck?
The
What's
only
your- what's
N64 game that needed a CD.
No, that game needed a turbo button.
Yeah.
But
What?
okay, what's your favorite GameCube?
I'm gonna have to say Sonic Adventure 2. I didn't actually like the game. What I liked was Raising Chow.
That is a good point.
Yeah.
That is what I did too. I
That-
raised Chow's for a really long time. I did more of that in Sonic Adventure 2 than playing it.
I mean, I'd have to go out and like run and get the vials or the animals. I'm like, oh god damn it!
Oh yeah, I remember grinding out all the items. But anyways, for me, my favorite N64 is Kirby and the crystals, whatever.
Yeah.
And for GameCube,
Crystal Shards.
definitely got to be Tales of Symphonia.
Oh yeah.
I love
that's a good
that game. I love that game. But-
Yeah.
So that was episode 3 of SlimeWire.
We're probably gonna have Abraham on again.
Yeah,
So-
Mr.
Oh,
Ham
yeah.
on.
Mr. Ham.
Would probably Chase on. We get Johnny. We couldn't get Johnny on,
Couldn't get Johnny on this week. He didn't answer his phone.
but you get us instead. So Captain Goyle,
Chase the base.
Dr. Sanders.
Mr. Ham.
Cheers.
All
All right, everybody.
right.
SlimeWire, you're on.
Goodbye.
See ya.